Getting ready for your first flight? Congratulations! It's such an exciting experience. But let's be real. Your first time on a plane can also feel a bit overwhelming. Your flight is booked, and now all sorts of questions pop into your head. What do I pack? How do I get to the airport? What time should I arrive? Don't worry, in this video, I'll guide you through everything you need to know to get ready for your first flight before you even step foot in the airport. And experienced travelers, I'd love to hear from you too. Drop your best tips for first-time flyers in the comments below. Stick around until the end for my #1 travel day tip. It'll make your first flight much easier. Hey beautiful people, I'm Krystian. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining me for another video. Okay, before you hit that book now button for your flight, let's double check a few things. First, make sure you spelled your name correctly on your reservation before you book your ticket. This has to match your first and last name on your ID exactly. Fixing it later can be a pain and will more than likely come with a fee. My cousin had to pay to correct her name on her reservation before our trip to Iceland. If you've got a known traveler number for TSA PreCheck or are part of an airline loyalty program, add that to your reservation up front. It's not always possible to add these later. And don't forget to add any meal preferences or special services you might need, like wheelchair assistance or traveling with a pet. Now is also the perfect time to select your seat if you can. Window seats offer breathtaking views during takeoff and landing, along with a sense of privacy and a place to rest your head. Aisle seats provide easy access to the restroom and the freedom to stretch your legs during the flight. And let's face it, no one wants the middle seat. Bulkhead and exit row seats often have more legroom, but the seats may not recline. You will be required to assist the cabin crew in an emergency if you're seated in the exit row. Are you a window person or aisle all the way? Let me know which one you prefer in the comments below. Pay for your luggage in advance if you can. Sometimes it's cheaper to pay for your luggage online than at the check-in counter. Decide if you want to buy travel insurance as an add-on to your flight. Travel insurance can help you later if your flight gets canceled or your luggage gets lost. You can also pay for your flight with a travel credit card that provides this coverage or buy per-trip travel insurance or an annual policy through an insurance company. Personally, I have an annual plan since I travel a lot. If you're traveling internationally, make sure your passport is valid for at least 6 months past your trip return date. Many countries won't let you in otherwise. And if you're traveling domestically in the United States, remember that starting May 7th, 2025, your state ID or driver's license must be Real ID compliant. Now that you've got your flight booked, let's make sure you're fully prepared for travel day. Download the airline's app and opt in for notifications or text messages. You can use their app to update your reservation, check in for your flight, and get real-time updates on travel day delays and changes. Add your boarding pass and airline loyalty cards to the wallet app on your phone. You can use this as your boarding pass at the check-in counter, for passing airport security, and at the gate for boarding your flight. Scan your ID, passport, and any other important travel documents and save copies in the Files or Notes app on your phone. Consider using a travel itinerary app to keep track of your flight details and other reservations all in one place. Now, let's talk about what to pack in your carry-on. You'll need some in-flight essentials and all your hard-to-replace items in the cabin with you. Things I always pack and carry with me in my carry-on are a change of clothes just in case my luggage is lost or delayed, my medication in the original prescription bottle, valuables like jewelry and electronics, hard-to-replace items like glasses, contacts, or important documents, headphones, your charging cables, charger block, and travel adapters, snacks, and an empty refillable water bottle. Bring a sweater or sweatshirt with you because the cabin can get cold. I also bring comfort items like a neck pillow, eye mask, and blanket. The size and weight restrictions for your carry-on will vary from airline to airline. European carry-on allowances tend to be smaller than U.S. carry-on size restrictions. There are special rules for flying with musical instruments. Check directly with your airline for their policy. To clear TSA security, you have to follow the 3-1-1 rule. This applies to liquids, gels, aerosols, creams, and pastes. These items must be in containers 3.4 ounces or less and fit into a single quart-size bag. The original size of the container must be 3.4 ounces or less, not what is left in the package. My friend had to throw away a pretty expensive sunscreen on our trip to Greece because the size of the original container was greater than 3.4 ounces. All lithium-ion batteries need to go in your carry-on. This includes power banks, cell phone charging cases, the battery pack for your smart suitcase, and any spare lithium batteries. Always pack your passport and ID in your personal item, not in your carry-on. You might be asked to check your carry-on plain side if there's not enough space in the overhead bins. In that case, move medication and any other essentials to your personal item. What's the one carry-on item you can't live without? Drop a comment below. Okay, now let's talk about your suitcase. Many suitcases look exactly alike. Make your luggage stand out by buying a suitcase with bright colors. You can also customize your suitcase with a luggage sleeve, stickers, or a unique name tag. This way you can avoid picking up the wrong luggage at baggage claim. Pack your luggage ahead of time. When you aren't rushed, you're less likely to forget things or overpack. I pack my clothes in packing cubes. I pack pajamas, socks, and underwear in one cube and clothes in another. I can also put a cube in a tote bag to lighten my luggage if it ends up being overweight. Weigh your luggage before heading to the airport. You can use a luggage scale or weigh yourself holding your bag, then again without your luggage and subtract the difference. Most domestic airlines have a 50-pound weight limit for checked luggage. Overweight baggage fees can be costly. Check with your airline directly for overweight or oversized luggage policies. Consider securing your luggage with a TSA-approved lock. Take a picture with timestamps of the contents of your suitcase and the exterior of your secured luggage before checking it in with the airline. This way, you have proof in case of loss, damage, or missing contents. Here are some tips for what to wear on travel day. Wear comfortable clothes. Bring layers for the adjusting cabin temperature. Wear shoes that are easy to slip on and off. Bring socks so you don't have to walk around the security checkpoint with bare feet when asked to remove your shoes. Avoid belts and bulky jewelry. Not only are they likely to set off the security scanner, but these items are easy to leave behind at the security checkpoint. Decide if you're going to be dropped off at the airport, take a rideshare, taxi, or car service, or use an airport shuttle or public transportation. Reserve your ride in advance to avoid last-minute scrambling for transportation on travel day. Check what terminal your flight leaves from so you can choose the right drop-off location for your ride. Aim to arrive early, 2 hours before departure for domestic flights and 3 hours for international flights. Give yourself some extra time during the busiest travel periods, between 5 and 9 a.m., the days before and after a major holiday, and on long weekends. The day before your trip is a great time to double-check your packing list and run last-minute errands to get ready for your trip. You can typically check in 24 hours before your flight departure time. When you check in advance, you can select your seats, get updates on delays, cancellations, and gate changes, and be first in line for upgrades. You might be required to check in person if you're traveling internationally, are flying with a pet, are part of a large group, or are an unaccompanied minor. Reach out to your airline immediately if there are severe delays or flight cancellations so you can get booked on the next available flight or get a refund. If you're traveling internationally, don't forget to exchange some currency ahead of time. Banks and credit unions often offer better exchange rates and lower fees than airport currency exchanges. Many even let you order foreign currency for delivery. Just make sure to do this a couple weeks in advance to allow enough time. For international travel, apps like currency converters and language translators can make your trip much easier. Check out my video here for the ones I recommend. All right, before we wrap up, I promised you my #1 travel day tip. This is the one thing I always do to make my flying experience as smooth as possible. Set a second alarm on travel day, 3.5 hours before departure time, and label it Leave for the Airport. This gives you 30 minutes for any last-minute tasks and to request a ride, an hour to get to the airport, and 2 hours for check-in and security. It's a simple way to stay on schedule, even if your day doesn't go as planned. With this tip and everything we've covered, you're ready to tackle your first flight like a pro. Stay tuned for part 2, where we'll dive into navigating the airport itself. Safe travels, and see you in the next one.